Ever wonder how we got here? Not just us, but everything around us. The mountains, the oceans, the very air we breathe. It's an epic story, 4.5 billion years in the making. Let's rewind the clock and watch the incredible evolution of our planet, Earth, in just 10 minutes. Our story begins in a cosmic cloud of dust and gas. Gravity, the universe's master architect, started pulling this material together. It swirled and clumped, getting hotter and denser until boom, our sun ignited. The leftover debris formed a disk, and within that disk, tiny particles collided and stuck together, growing larger and larger. This process, called accretion, built a molten, fiery ball of rock, the infant Earth. It was a hellish landscape, constantly bombarded by asteroids and comets, a glowing sphere of lava. There was no air, no water, just chaos. Then something catastrophic happened. A Mars-sized object, which we call Theia, slammed into our young planet. The impact was unimaginable, vaporizing both bodies and sending a colossal spray of molten rock into orbit. Over time, this debris coalesced, pulled together by gravity to form our constant companion, the Moon. This giant impact was crucial. It tilted Earth on its axis, giving us seasons, and its gravitational pull stabilized our planet's wobble, creating a more stable climate for life to eventually emerge. As the bombardment from space slowed down, Earth began to cool. A solid crust formed over the molten interior, like a skin on hot pudding. But underneath, the planet was still incredibly active. Volcanoes erupted everywhere, spewing gases like water vapor, carbon dioxide, and nitrogen into the sky. This was the birth of our first atmosphere. It was toxic, nothing like today's air, but it was a start. As the planet cooled further, that water vapor in the atmosphere condensed and began to fall as rain. It rained for millions of years, a relentless downpour that filled the basins and craters, forming the first global ocean. Earth was no longer a fiery rock, it was a water world. Beneath the waves, in this primordial soup, the miracle of life began. We're not exactly sure how, but around 3.8 billion years ago, simple chemical compounds combined to form the first self-replicating molecules. These were the ancestors of all life. For billions of years, life remained simple, single-celled organisms floating in the ocean. But then, a game-changer evolved: cyanobacteria. These tiny microbes performed a revolutionary trick called photosynthesis. They used sunlight to create energy, and as a byproduct, they released a waste gas: oxygen. This great oxidation event was a planetary transformation. Oxygen was toxic to most life at the time, causing a mass extinction. But it also created a new opportunity. The oxygen filled the oceans and then seeped into the atmosphere. It reacted with sunlight to form the ozone layer, a protective shield that blocked harmful ultraviolet radiation. For the first time, the land was safe from the sun's harshest rays. The stage was set for life to conquer the continents. Meanwhile, the Earth's surface was on the move. The crust wasn't one solid piece, but a jigsaw puzzle of tectonic plates floating on the molten mantle beneath. These plates drifted, collided, and pulled apart in a slow, constant dance. Continents formed, broke up, and reassembled. This process, called plate tectonics, shaped the world we know. It created mountain ranges like the Himalayas when plates crashed together, and deep ocean trenches where they pulled apart. Supercontinents like Rodinia and later Pangaea formed, grouping all the world's landmasses into one giant continent. Around 540 million years ago, something spectacular happened: the Cambrian explosion. In a relatively short burst of geological time, life became incredibly diverse and complex. Organisms developed hard shells, skeletons, and eyes. The oceans teemed with weird and wonderful creatures, the ancestors of insects, fish, and all animals to come. Soon after, life made its next great leap. Plants, evolving from green algae, were the first to colonize the barren land. They were followed by insects, and then amphibians, who ventured out of the water, and eventually reptiles. Life on land flourished. Giant forests of ferns and primitive trees covered the continents, pumping even more oxygen into the atmosphere. This was the Carboniferous period, home to giant dragonflies and car-sized millipedes. But Earth's story is one of both creation and destruction. About 252 million years ago, the planet suffered its greatest catastrophe: the Permian-Triassic extinction, or the Great Dying. Massive volcanic eruptions in Siberia released enormous amounts of greenhouse gases, leading to runaway global warming and ocean acidification. Over 90% of all species on Earth were wiped out. But life is resilient. From the ashes of this disaster, a new group of animals rose to dominate the planet: the dinosaurs. For over 150 million years, they were the undisputed rulers of Earth, evolving into an incredible variety of shapes and sizes, from the mighty T-Rex to the colossal Argentinosaurus. The world they lived in was warm, and the continents continued to drift apart, slowly moving toward their current positions. Then, 66 million years ago, another catastrophe struck from the heavens. An asteroid, 6 miles wide, slammed into the ocean off the coast of modern-day Mexico. The impact triggered a global winter, blocking out the sun and causing the collapse of food chains. The age of dinosaurs came to an abrupt and fiery end. But their demise created a new opportunity. With the giant reptiles gone, small, furry creatures that had been living in the shadows could finally thrive. These were our ancestors, the mammals. In the 66 million years since, mammals have diversified to fill every corner of the globe. The climate has fluctuated, with ice ages coming and going, shaping the landscapes we see today. And in a small corner of Africa, a particular group of primates evolved. They learned to walk upright, to use tools, and to harness fire. Their brains grew larger and more complex. They developed language, art, and culture. This was us, Homo sapiens. In the blink of a geological eye, we have spread across the entire planet, building cities, creating technology, and fundamentally changing the world around us. From a ball of fire to a vibrant, living world, Earth's 4.5 billion-year journey is a story of chance, catastrophe, and incredible resilience. It's a story that's still being written, and we are now its authors. What the next chapter holds is up to us. Thanks for joining me on this incredible journey through time. If you found this as fascinating as I do, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more adventures into science and history, and let me know in the comments what part of Earth's story amazes you the most. See you in the next one.